Podro Show. My name is Ronan Okara. Our special guest today is a legend in promoting, building, and molding Jamaican cultures around Australia. A former radio presenter on a major radio station in Melbourne, a son of Stony Gut, St. Thomas, Jamaica. Did I say it right?
Yeah. You say it right with your accent. It's Stony Gut.
Stony Gut.
Stony Gut is where Paul Bogle is from. Paul Bogle is one of Jamaica's 7 national heroes. If you want to hear the Paul Bogle story, I can tell you.
You can?
Yeah. So Paul Bogle was a Baptist minister, and he is the one that instigated the Morant Bay Rebellion. He basically, during the days of slavery, rebelled against the oppressors, and he started a rebellion. And yeah, they defeated an European army.
And he started in that area.
He lived in Stony Gut.
Stony Gut.
Yeah, I have to pass his place to go to my house. But obviously, you know, we're talking about
It's a museum now, I'm sure.
Yeah, and so Stony Gut is the home of Paul Bogle, really. One of the greatest national heroes of Jamaica.
How much of Jamaican history does he get involved in? Like, do people learn about him in history books?
Absolutely, man. I mean, you know that especially Africans that were taken from Africa and brought to the Caribbean and North America, the history they teach us is the history from slavery, not before that. So, like when I went to school, I mostly learned about our national heroes, and that history actually begins with slavery. But as I got older and smarter, I know that we have a history before slavery. And that's my history.
And also sometimes they write the history they want you to learn. So,
100%.
So sometimes the heroes in our communities, they get left out. So I find in Zimbabwe, I come from Zimbabwe, as you know, I find the historians now, they're writing our history the way it was supposed to be written, because sometimes you miss out things as you go.
Yeah,
Is that happening in Jamaica as well?
Our school system is based on the British school system. Their English is their first language.
You learn about King George and stuff like that, and you miss your own people.
We were taught that Christopher Columbus was a great man, but he was
there
a pirate.
There are songs about him. Yeah, he was a pirate.
You know, he discovered Jamaica in 1492. That's not possible. There were people already living there.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? So that kind of history they try to force on us during our school days. And there are still some people who still have the blanket over their eyes, who have not woken up to see that we have a history way before slavery. You know, so
is it still a sugarcane plantation area? Stony Gut.
So where I live in Jamaica, where Stony Gut is, Spring Garden is the name of the area. We live in between 2 sugar estates.
All right.
One was Surge Island, which, you keep going further away from. I live in the middle of Surge Island and Duckensville.
All right.
So Surge Island is no longer a sugarcane plantation. It's now a dairy farm.
All right.
And Duckensville, they still plant sugarcane, but it's for domestic use.
All right. Is it related to what they call it, global warming, or just a change of farming expertise?
Well, it's looked down on as a profession if you're a sugarcane farmer.
You know I mean? See.
Yeah, so no one wants to work.
Oh, I see. Yeah, cutting this.
No,
yeah,
no
it's like slavery work and stuff.
100%. I used to go with my father to cut sugar cane and load it onto trucks. I never used to do any of the manual work, but I used to bring his lunch and watch him and other men cut sugar cane and load it manually onto trucks. and those men were ripped. They
they didn't have to go to the
didn't
gym.
have to go to the gym.
Natural.
You know, huge biceps just from the work they did.
Thank you very much for coming back, Stick. I know you've got, you're a busy man. That much I know. And we're still celebrating Mother's Day. How many ladies in your life are they? Happy Mother. I can't say Happy Mother's Day to you, but, you know, did you celebrate it? How did you celebrate it?
Mother's Day was a little bit somber for me this year because on the 18th of this month, the 18th of May, 2025, will be the anniversary of the passing of my mum. And she passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
Almost a year ago, last year. Actually, the last time I spoke to her was on Mother's Day last year. So it was quite somber today. Yes, Mother's Day this year. But I do have a lot of amazing mothers in my life.
In your life? How many?
Oh, man. Like, my mother-in-law is still alive. My grandmother is still alive. She's 97.
Oh, wow.
Lives in Toronto. And I've got 2 daughters who are mothers. Obviously, my wife, she's a mother of 4. And I've got 5 sisters.
Yeah. You've got heaps of ladies in your surrounding. You know how many I have? I've got my wife, my daughter, my 2 sisters, my 3 sisters. That's 5. And my mom. That's 6. I
got a lot, man. I've got a lot. I've got like 8 sisters on my father's side as well. So there's a lot of mothers.
So how did you celebrate it this year, brother? I mean, like, obviously it was somber. Took everyone for lunch and stuff.
For me, today's my wife's birthday.
That's happy birthday to her.
It's always very close to Mother's Day. So guess what I do?
Expensive for you.
No. No, because she's not my mother. So that's not expensive for me. The kids have to splurge on her. I'll get her a birthday gift, but not Mother's Day gift because she's not my mother. She's the mother of my children, and my children are fully grown. So how do I celebrate Mother's Day? Basically, I hang around the mothers and I just get the spills.
All right.
Yeah, because the kids come over, they make breakfast, they make lunch.
You just be following around.
And one of them decided to take us out for dinner.
Oh, beautiful.
And I get to go along.
Yes.
You know, so it was amazing. Mother's Day, I look forward to Mother's Day because I know that they don't do anything without me.
Because my wife was saying, I think we celebrate too much of Mother's Day because we sort of like do too much for her. And on Father's Day, I'm not like a celebratory person. on Father's Day, I kind of disappear and I come back and go, where were you? You know, and I come back, they make dinner, and we don't do much. But this year, she said, when September comes, we have to do something.
Yeah, Father's Day is the same. The kids, they make a conscious decision not to favor one parent over the other.
Oh, I see.
But I think that
mom's
spoiled. She's spoiled.
Like I said, brother, thank you for coming to the show. Look, 3 years since you have been here. What have you been doing? Since you came to the studio. Yeah.
Oh,
and
man,
we had a different studio. Look, we're in a new environment and stuff like that. You had to drive longer. Yeah. I was complaining that at the time that you had to drive too long, but now it's a longer trip.
No, I don't mind driving, in Melbourne because I always get to communicate with people on the other side of the globe. On my way here, I spoke to the mad professor who lives in London.
Wow.
And I managed to have a 1-hour conversation with him about an upcoming tour. So I don't mind driving. It gives me a headspace to think. What have I been doing? I mean, I'm a bit older, obviously. 3 years older, but I haven't
more
gotten
busy.
I haven't gotten smarter because I'm still promoting reggae music and events.
No, that's
not smart.
No, that's smart. Is it expensive? Why you say that?
It's very expensive, and I have a lot of sleepless nights. And most people I deal with are on the other side of the world. So when I'm supposed to be sleeping, I'm cutting deals. and
time difference,
and I have to answer questions, and I have to represent at a time when I should be asleep. But to be honest, if I didn't love it, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Because it's not very rewarding.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of time I put in to promoting Jamaican culture and Jamaican music. If someone was paying me to do it, I could be a very wealthy man.
But still, I believe in yourself. You feel satisfied in a way, like, because you're introducing a culture to people.
Well, you know, sometimes people think about riches and they think it's all material things and monetary and stuff you can show. Mm-hmm. I feel very rich in what I'm doing, because when I stand up on the stage and I look at the people and how much fun they're having, I feel like I am the richest man in the venue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's promoting reggae and Jamaican music is something I wake up at 4 a.m. to do with a lot of happiness and joy in doing it.
Man, I'll ask you this question. How many international artists have you worked with so far? Last year, including this year. Last year and this year.
Many.
Many, eh?
Many. Last year...
More than 10.
Probably not 10, but last year I worked with Scaramucci. Mm-hmm. And we did some shows around Victoria and New South Wales and Queensland. Work with Queen Amiga, Anthony B.
Show, yes.
You know, and then a lot of other artists that I'll just tap in onto a tour that they're doing, and a lot of local artists as well.
How do you choose your artists as they on your program? Like, okay, I'm going to promote this one. Is it due to popularity, or is something that you yourself just feel like, okay, I'm just going to? It
really is. It comes down to supply and demand. Mm-hmm. You know, if there's no demand, it's pointless in supplying. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But all of the artists I promote, I actually believe in them and believe in their message and appreciate what they stand for. Sometimes, you know, you meet the artist and you have to try and separate the art from the artist, because sometimes the art is what you fall in love with to begin with, and the person who brings you the art has nothing to do with the art. The artist has nothing to do with his art or her art. Sometimes you love their music, but you don't necessarily love the personality.
Yeah.
You know, because
artists' personality are known to be just... Isn't it a lie? Like some artists, you'd love them to see them in music videos, interviews and stuff like that. But if you personally meet them, you're like...
Yeah, I've toured some artists that I would never invite to my house. That's one thing. Yeah. And I tour some artists where I'm happy to take them to the show and take them to the hotel.
Just back to the hotel.
I don't want to hang out with them.
You know.
But their art is what I'm really all about and interested in.
And the culture.
But touch wood, to be honest, I wouldn't call anyone's name, but just about every artist I've toured, I love being in their company. You know, so far so good. And you know, I don't book artists that I don't like. So I know for a fact that when I put them on stage, I also endorse their product. All right. And I know my audience will love them as well.
But what about artist demands? Do you make sure, say, when you're booking them and if they have their own demands, like, okay, if I get there, like if I'll give you an example outside reggae, I'll give you an example, say in hip hop. Say we know that, say, a person like Wiz Khalifa, when he's coming, he wants his own weed, he wants his own type of meals. So are you pressured to sort of like do like artist satisfaction, or you have to come up with an agreement with them, like, these these things we can't do, these things we can do, this you have to understand this.
It takes us a very special person to be an artist. I don't think artists are normal or regular people. Mm-hmm. They're different to the general population.
All right.
Yeah, they are different.
I met a couple of them.
To be as creative as the people who are famous from doing music or art or in movies or whatever, it's they're on a different level, yeah? Mm-hmm. And because it takes such a different person to be an artist, they have demands and they have certain kind of behavior that is not normal to the eye. Mm. Yes, I get a lot of requests that are unreasonable and just cannot be fulfilled. But, I work with artists that I can always relate to and talk to and be personal with them. Mm-hmm. And we always come to a compromise, if anything is unreasonable. But like I say, I mainly promote reggae artists, and reggae artists are down to earth.
Yes.
There's no craziness about what they want, and they're writers, which is what they require in either on stage or in the dressing room. Mm-hmm. We can always negotiate on.
Do you feel like you're the godfather of reggae events in Melbourne, in Australia? Some people say that, brother.
If I say that,
they say you are the godfather.
If I say that, my brother, you know what? People come for my neck, come for my head. Let me tell you something. I am probably the only Jamaican. I have a friend who we do a festival together, the Jamaican Music and Food Festival.
Who's that?
Zara Demos. Mm-hmm. So Zara Demos and I, he's also Jamaican, and we do the Jamaican Music and Food Festival together. But independently of that, I run Stick Mareebo Productions, which means that I do a few tours during the year. I do like Heavy Congress is underneath my banner, and
other collaborations too. Heaps of collaborations.
The Afro-Caribbean Carnival is also underneath my banner.
There's no Jamaican function that I've seen that doesn't have your name on it.
But speaking of being the godfather of Jamaican and reggae events in Melbourne, a lot of people don't like that. I get a lot of fight from people because
who else?
I'm the only Jamaican, right?
But who else? Yeah, but you are the only Jamaican who is full forward for the culture, introducing it, molding it, teaching it.
Yeah,
you're not stealing it from anyone. No, this is things that you grew up with, that you know. This
is correct.
That you understand.
This is correct. But you would have heard of a thing called culture vultures. People who come in, they want to be you or be like you, and if you are the real deal, they just can't deal with it. They just can't deal with it.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people who think that I make a lot of money out of promoting reggae music. There is absolutely no money in it, because the reggae music population, the people who are interested in reggae music in Australia, is a minority. It's a very, very small part of the community. The scene is not big enough for anyone to make any significant amount of money out of it.
But you push it. The last time I saw you, Channel 7 was there, Channel 9. I saw you on Channel 9 the other year. You were interviewed and stuff like that. And you, that's sick. Wow.
But like I said at the start, if I was doing it for money, I would have stopped a long time ago.
Okay.
But I do it for self, for satisfaction, for my heart, to know that I am leaving a legacy or something that my children can look back and say, my dad did that. And because of my dad, this thing was established, Instead of saying, oh, I've made, a few $100,000 out of it. I just want people to be exposed to authentic, the authentic Jamaican culture.
I know, because whenever you have your Jamaican food, music and food fest, you be walking around checking on everyone if they're happy. Oh, yo, brother, and you're busy. And you're on the ground, you're organizing everything. And I felt like this brother of mine is really into this. So that's why personally and the other people who see you will go like, he's really the godfather. Apart from being the godfather, some people call you the gatekeeper. They say if anything Jamaican is happening, especially in Melbourne, I don't know about other states, you have to consult it with Stick Mareebo. Are you a gatekeeper?
I'm not the gatekeeper, but one of my son is a gatekeeper. he pushes me at the front. He goes, "Man, you go up, you be the front." But it's really him who is the gatekeeper of certain part of the culture. But no, anybody who wants to put on
because gatekeeping is good. I'll say it's something. Sorry for cutting you. It's good because you want to sort of like shave off those pretenders. And the voucher couches. What do you call it?
The culture
vouchers.
Yeah, you can never stop them.
So as a gatekeeper, you're watching. Is this the culture we're supporting? Which is a good thing, but some people take it as a bad thing.
Yes, look, so I think it just comes down to jealousy more than anything else, and people just want to be what they're not. They just want to be something. They aspire to be something that they're not, and they really can't get there. Like I've never met any Jamaican person that wants to be someone else or be like a person from another culture.
Me too.
Never. Every Jamaican wants to be themselves.
Just original. They just themselves.
But here in Australia, I've met so many people who wants to be like Jamaicans. And they're not. But they're looking, and I'm looking at them going, doesn't matter how hard you try, a Jamaican will never try to be like you. No way. So true. Just be yourself. And go ahead and promote reggae music as much as you like. But just remember that it is not your culture. It is not your culture. It's our culture. I have had people that says, "Oh, I don't know why Stick Mareebo is involved in this event. I don't know why he should be up here. He doesn't own a sound system. He's not a part of the sound system fraternity. He doesn't know anything about sound system. He should be playing bar mitzvah music and top 40 music." And I'm like, I can't even help it. Because when I was 12 years old, my sister started dating a guy who owns a sound system. And between 12 and the age of 24, I was dragged along to go and help to set it up and to also play to warm up the crowd before the real DJs come. And it's in my blood. So saying, I don't know why Stick Mareebo is involved in this event, don't make no sense. It's in my culture.
But do people have guts to say that?
Believe it, brother.
Just looking at your work and what you do and stuff like that, it's unbelievable.
People have guts to say that. You would not believe how much fight I get. I have an event coming up in the Yarra Valley on the 1st of November. It was meant to be on the 29th of March, but I had to postpone it. You know why I had to postpone it?
Why?
Because there's been 5 letters that were sent to the venue as a sabotage, to sabotage this event, saying it's got terrorist affiliation, it's got violence attached to it, there's going to be a lot of drug taking, and it's going to be bad for the community, it's going to be bad for the area. And the venue is calling me up saying, here are the letters. They're meant to be coming from some reputable organizations, but they're all written by AI. They're all posted from the same postcode. They all arrive on the same day, and they're all written by AI, which means that the one person has done it, but just trying to sabotage Heavy Congress and the Stick Mareebo production brand. So I get a lot of fight from people, and they're not black people.
Oh, I see.
They're just people who wish they were Jamaican, and they're not. And because I am the only one of Jamaican heritage in this country.
You have lasted for a long time, Stick. When I first came, I was a student in 2001. I would hear of a Stick Mareebo.
But would you believe it that...
You've lasted for a long time from when I first came.
But I can tell you it's like a one-man show, you know, because I give you an example. I've been touring artists forever in this country since 2015. I've been touring artists. And I can count on one hand the amount of reggae promoters in this country that has ever collaborated with me on a tour. But they collaborate with all of their inner circle and all are white, privileged, white, wealthy, young men mostly. But, you know, I say...
Have you not confront them, have you approached them before? Like, look, I've got an authentic, my name is well known, I've created a name. I know you've got the money and I know you've got the privilege, but let's try and do it originally. Or you, as Jamaicans, I know them, they want their own pride.
My brother, every time I have an artist coming out, I reach out to other promoters who promote reggae music in the country. Because I don't want to go to Perth and do a show. I don't want to go to Sydney and do a show.
Yeah. You just want
Melbourne is my market.
Yeah, so you can promote
when,
here.
when you have Anthony B coming out to do a show in Melbourne or Queen Amiga, I'm quite comfortable to do my show in Melbourne. But I don't want to go to Sydney and do a show. But I can never find another reggae promoter in any one of those states that would buy the artist, buy the show, and promote it in their own marketplace. I don't know why. And the only thing I can look at is the color of my skin. And maybe because I'm Jamaican and all of them want to be and they're not. So no one will buy a show off me.
But they say they have reggae venues over there in Sydney, in Perth, and stuff like that, but they just don't want to support when it comes to a reggae artist coming.
This is correct. I'll give you another example. A very well-known reggae outfit has just come out to Australia and New Zealand from the UK. And so every tour have like a national promoter, like myself. I'm bringing the artist out and I'm looking for shows for the artist. When such promoter approached me about this event, they were trying to sell me the same package for $1,500 more than everyone else. And I'm like, what is the reason? You know, one guy says, Stick, is because everyone thinks you get big crowds and you're in bigger venues and you get bigger people attending and you make more money. But like, they're all working together with each other. But you know, my dream still would be to have a Stick Mareebo in every state. A Jamaican person who is that proud of the Jamaican heritage and the culture that they'll become someone similar to myself and Zara Dimas.
Do you feel like some of the Jamaicans who are interstate and stuff like that are jealous of what you're doing?
No, not at all.
Or they can't afford what you're doing. The time, the finance, you know.
It's a risky business. It's a huge gambling habit to be a promoter. It's not everybody's cup of tea. It's stressful. You learn on the job, and it is very expensive. So I know a lot of Jamaican friends would love to be a promoter. Some probably don't have the capital to start to become a promoter and just don't know the whereabouts of how to do it, right? So it's not everyone's cup of tea. So not everyone is going to say, yeah, I'll buy an Anthony B show and put it on because there's a chance you could lose your money. The artist has to be paid.
I can't believe Anthony B you can lose money. He's an international artist, but not in Australia, right? Australia is different.
Yeah, well, look, Anthony B made good money on the last tour he was here. He made good money. Queen Amiga made good money on the last tour. But there are some tours that struggles, you know.
Even if they're international stars.
Even if they're international stars, because...
Is it the attitude of Australians, they want to listen to AC/DC. They just don't want to accommodate other cultures as in a bigger venue. Like, okay, we can have Taylor Swift in, MCG and stuff like that, but we can't have Binnyman, booking on MCG.
No, it's just a small part of the population that is interested in reggae. That's
in Australia.
And the thing is this, right?
Because believe me, if you take Anthony B, if you go, say, to UK,
yep,
or to America,
UK,
even to Zimbabwe, all of Zimbabwe will come to that
because
show.
the population's there for it. You know what I mean? There's more than 1 million Jamaicans living in London.
Yep.
So you do an Anthony B show in London, you're gonna get a lot of Jamaicans and their family and their friends. And to be honest, I don't lose money ever doing shows in Melbourne. I always make money.
Yeah,
but then I lose money in Sydney. So Melbourne pays for Sydney, and Melbourne pays for Brisbane, and Melbourne pays for Perth. You know what I mean? But I would like to change that. And when I've got a tour coming up with Mad Professor in February, I'd like to sell the Mad Professor show that is going to be in Sydney to a promoter in Sydney, and they can promote the show and make as much money as they can. No problems. But when I have to go to Sydney to do a Mad Professor show, I don't have that connection with the audience in Sydney.
Yeah.
I don't have that pull.
But I'm thinking you're starting to create that as much as you're traveling now.
I could do street posters, I could do radio, I could do newspaper, I could do posters. It's still really hard to connect with that audience. Social media is a big factor. TikTok and Instagram is great for advertising. But all of the friends that I've got on those platforms are predominantly based in Victoria. So now I have to find an agency to do target marketing in those markets. And it is an expensive exercise.
You're a little bit old. Just move, obviously stay on Facebook, move to Instagram, move to TikTok, brother. You've got kids. You've got grandkids. They will do it for you.
On TikTok. No, I got a TikTok account.
And stuff. Yeah, just put it over there.
It's not cool, man. It's not
them
cool.
kids there.
Yeah.
I've joined TikTok for Ponderer Show recently. Probably a couple of months ago, probably a month or 2 months. Yeah, TikTok. I've never been on TikTok before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting platform to advertise.
I advertise quite a bit on Instagram. And I haven't advertised yet on TikTok, but my son who's got a profile.
Get him into this.
Yeah.
100%. I'll have to follow him. What's his name so that I follow him when I watch this video?
King DJE.
King DJE.
Yeah, I'll share his profile with you.
I'll even write it down somewhere
before we're there.
Yes. So there's no doubt that you're working on the ground. You have a lot of shows that you're linked in on your calendar, including the Reggae Dancehall Jam session that's coming this Friday, yeah?
Yes.
This Friday, yeah. 16th of May, you've got that one. But I feel like you are preparing us for a bigger event.
I've got
the Heavy Congress.
I've got a lot of events in the pipeline at the moment. Some of them, your audience is actually going to jump out of their skin to attend. You know what I mean? We have some boutique events coming up. I've got an event coming up in June, on June the 8th.
What's that one?
That one is just called Jerk, Reggae, and Rum.
The Jerk, Reggae, and Rum is in June, right?
It's in July.
July.
No, it's June the 8th.
June the 8th, yeah.
Sunday, June the 8th. The day after that is the King's birthday celebration.
All right. So what's that one about?
So that one's really about bringing together people in a warehouse setting, and we'll strike up 2 or 3 Jamaican jerk pan, which will have jerk chicken in it, jerk pork, and a vegetarian offering, and then we'll have the rice and peas and the jerk chicken going, and a bar, and a bunch of DJs just playing vintage Jamaican music, so strictly vinyl.
All right.
And we also have a car show during the daytime, so we have some classic cars coming down.
Oh, so it starts early.
12 o'clock.
What time does it finish?
10 o'clock.
What is it called?
It's called Jerk, Reggae, and Rum.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's on my social media platform.
You are promoting it. I saw that one.
Yeah. So there's that one then, and then we have another one in August, same venue, and another one I think, but I have to double check. It's probably September or October. But then after that,
you're building us to the 1st of November.
The 1st of November is Heavy Congress.
Let's talk about Heavy Congress. What is it? What are we supposed to expect? Why are people supposed to book that day? Like, oh, my calendar, okay.
Yep.
Heavy Congress.
Heavy Congress is the biggest sound system gathering anywhere in the Southern Hemisphere ever. It's the biggest gathering of self-made sound system, DIY sound systems.
What's a sound system? Because people might not know what a sound system is. You know what? When I was young, when I was a student, we used to call ourselves a sound system because we used to just DJ and just play reggae music and stuff like that. But when it started getting explained to me, I discovered, no, that's not a sound system.
So look, there are two ways at the moment, and we have to accept the second tier of sound system, like you were just mentioning.
Yes.
So for me, I grew up in Jamaica where the sound system was the mode, the way how people got their music in Jamaica. Because Jamaican music was never played on Jamaican radio.
No. We had rebel music.
R&B and country and western and blues and strictly American music on Jamaican radio. So for us Jamaicans to hear Jamaican music, we have to go to the dance hall. And you go to the dance hall and there's a sound system in the dance hall. Now these sound systems are built by the owners from scratch. They build the boxes, they often build the amplifiers, and they bought the right the right speakers to fit those boxes, put them in and build a physical and actual sound system. So the sound system from 1940 till current day are huge speaker boxes that you cannot fit and keep in your house. Before you build a sound system, you have to buy a truck.
All right.
Because you can't move it with a
around.
car.
Yeah.
So that's the sound system for me. Now in Australia, now it is like the 80s in the UK. The sound system thing has blown up. There is more than 50 sound systems in Australia. There's more than 25 in Melbourne alone. Wow. And they are self-made. They're all different size. They're different color. They're different shape. They play different music. And each sound system have their own crew. You have people who lift the boxes, someone who owns it, or maybe a group of people who owns it. Then you have the selectors, which is a person who comes along just to play the music on the sound system. Then you have the MCs, you have singers, you have dancers. So the sound system is like a little family with some huge boxes and amplifiers and boxes and crates of records. So on the 1st of November, we're going to have 11 of those sound systems in the one place.
Individual sound systems.
Yeah, they're all playing individually. So
how are you going to put it? You're going to put it on one stage, 11 of them, or different sections?
We're going to have two areas of stacks. So most sound systems have two stacks. So, you'll have 4 huge bass bins with double 18 speakers in them. Then you have the mid-range. Then you have the hi-hats, the top, the highs. And so most sound systems have 2 stacks. So all of these sound systems, we're going to put all the stacks together and make solid walls. There's a sound system coming to Heavy Congress from Adelaide, and it's called Earth Shaker. Earth Shaker has got the biggest subwoofers in the world.
Wow.
They are the biggest subwoofers ever made.
Can they be accommodated at your venue? That's my question.
Well, this event is not this event is going to be at Rochford Winery in the Yarra Valley. The winery is a 13,000 capacity venue. It's there's only cows out there.
Yes.
It's just vineyard and grass and a big wide open space.
A true festival.
It's going to be mind-blowing because all the sound systems will get to play at their proper level and with pure clarity. And I just get goose pimples thinking about it.
What about food, toiletry, accommodation and stuff?
Yeah, so a lot of people, when we first announced Heavy Congress so much, a lot of people were booking out all the accommodation up in the Yarra Valley. So anywhere up in the Yarra Ranges, you can get overnight or weekend accommodation. So you got to book them early. And then we as it relates to toilets, obviously, the winery is a venue that has all of its amenities already attached. But we'll bring in extra toilets. We'll bring in staging. And the great Echo Minot from Jamaica will be our special guest for Heavy Congress.
So, so how long is it a day? Is it going to happen during the weekend or just on the day?
It's just a one-day event, Saturday the 1st of November, and the gates open at 11 and finish at 9 o'clock. So it's a 10-hour event. It's a 10-hour event of just good, clean music with clarity. I can't wait. There's going to be reggae, there's going to be dub, there's a sound system that's going to be playing disco and funk.
How many local sound systems do we have? So, just in Melbourne alone.
So there'll be 10 local sound systems.
Then from other states?
And then there's one sound system coming in from
Adelaide.
Let me correct that. 2 sound systems coming in from interstate. Tough Tone is coming in from New South Wales. And Earth Shaker is coming in from Adelaide.
Beautiful.
And the other 9 are all local sound systems.
So, is it because the question was, because I saw you on your Facebook, you were questioning, so with all this sound system, can we have a sound clash at some point?
Well, you know what? That's the one thing that is missing in Australia when it comes to the sound system. All of the people who own sound systems are nice guys. And it's okay to be...
They're scared to just sort of like rub off each other and stuff.
No one has that killer instinct in them or the rivalry. And they keep saying to me, that's not what we're about. We're about unity and the music is not a competition, it's a mission. And I said, that's bullshit.
Me too.
It's absolute bullshit. If you build a sound system and it's your pride and joy and you're so crazy about the work that you put in to build it, put it up against somebody else who's done the same. Test him out. Test him out because the sound system... They believe that if you clash with someone in a sound clash, it means that you're going to go around to their house and kick off their door and abuse them. They don't understand that this is a part of it they don't understand. The guys in Jamaica, after a sound clash, they shake hands and laugh and talk. It's theatre.
Everyone drink it together.
It's theatre.
Yeah, exactly.
It's theatre. And the rivalry is a big part of the sound system culture. But it just does not exist in Australia because everyone... is a nice guy. And I've had sound clash before, but the guys who are more interested in sound clash, they don't actually physically own sound systems.
Oh, I see.
Like you're talking about a group of DJs who buy dub plates.
Yes.
And they have a selection.
Yeah.
They have a big selection of music.
And clash.
And they have the fire in the belly to clash, but they don't own boxes. But they're still sound system. You have people like Chant Down Sound System. They've got probably over 200 dub plates. You've got Future Sound from Perth. That guy would clash anybody anytime. Pipeline Sound System. And then 420 from Byron Bay. All those guys would love to clash.
But are they coming also to Heavy Congress on that day?
Well...
there's a category you're working on.
Yeah, Heavy Congress is for actual people who physically own speaker boxes, because it's an exhibition of the art of building, operating, managing, and the exhibition of a sound system.
And
that's
also,
what we're putting
I
out.
was looking at it like a sound system and stuff. The different types. There's reggae and there's some different.
There's a Pico sound system called El Gran Mono, which is a part of Heavy Congress. And the Pico sound system is from Colombia. It is the very first Pico sound system built outside of Colombia. No. Everyone believes the sound system culture originated in Jamaica. However, at the same time, on the Caribbean coast of Colombia, there were people there of African descent who weren't getting their music through the radio stations, so they had to build their own speaker boxes. And the Pico sound system, though it's like the Jamaican cousin, it actually is not derived from the Jamaican sound system culture. They have their very own Pico sound system culture.
You're educating me now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they play Afro-Caribbean music. You know? So they're going to be there in full swing. Like the Pico sound system will be represented like it was being played in Colombia. And then we have obviously a lot of reggae sound systems.
Reggae,
but we
garage,
also have drum and bass.
Yeah, drum and
We have
bass.
drum and bass sound system. We have jungle sound system.
Jungle, yeah.
And then there's one that plays trance and high energy electronic dance music.
Wow.
Like very much like over the top.
Yeah.
Called Virus. They are just incredible. Something to behold. So there's everything at Heavy Congress.
How old is Heavy Congress? How when did you start? Is this their first year? You're starting now, or it's been there for a while?
You know, I was approached by two gentlemen, Chris Gill and Jason Mailing, in 2020, if I'd like to join a project that they're working on to present Heavy Congress to Rising Festival. It was making its debut in 2021. But as you know, what happened in 2021, the whole state got shut down and Heavy Congress didn't make a presentation. But we were able to do it in 2022. And we had 10 sound systems at the forum. And there was a queue, a line around the forum, people trying to get in. The tickets were snapped up just like that. So Heavy Congress has been around since 2021, and I'm looking to make it an annual event. This year, we're looking to do it in November. And in 2026, I've already booked the venue and start booking sound systems for Halloween. So the 31st of October.
Wow.
Which means that we're going to have a Halloween Heavy Congress. And I've already booked a sound system from Tasmania that is coming over for it.
So would they have to fly the speakers and stuff?
Well, Tasmania is a little bit different because they have a boat.
They ship it, yeah.
The boat comes over.
Because I was going to ask you if if you have an international sound system, they go like, in Australia, they're having a Heavy Congress. How will you... Will they have to transport it? Will be expensive?
Hearth Shaker will be driving in from Adelaide, and Tough Tone will be renting a truck and driving in from New South Wales. But I know that the sound system from Tasmania will rent a van, put the sound system in the van, drive the van onto the boat, and drive it off the boat to Heavy Congress and then back.
Beautiful.
It's going to be sick.
My wife was worried. Is Heavy Congress going to ruin Jamaican music and Jamaican music and food festival? Because you seem to be concentrated on Heavy Congress. Are we still going to have,
The Jamaican Music and Food Festival is a staple diet for Melbourne.
All right.
It will be announced in July, August, but I can already tell you the date. It's the 6th of December.
Because she said to me, if he's coming, ask him that question.
Yeah, so
at the moment we just focus, on Heavy Congress. I can't see, Jamaican, music infused festival where we can all go.
If you look closer to the ticket link, you can see you can buy one ticket for both events. So already there is almost 1,000 people who have bought their tickets to Heavy Congress. And those people know that their ticket's going to allow them to come to JMFF as well. So JMFF is about 1 month after Heavy Congress. So Heavy Congress is on the 1st of November, and the Jamaican Music and Food Festival is on the 6th of December. So I will be pushing both of them together.
All right, beautiful. And also I've seen you really true Jamaican promoting Sister Nancy's documentary or biopic and stuff like that. How iconic is Sister Nancy, brother, to you as Jamaican? How iconic is when you're seeing Sister Nancy?
I'm so happy that
what they're doing for her.
I'm so happy that you've seen that. So I was approached, and maybe, I don't know, someone must have noticed that I'm involved with promoting Jamaica and Jamaican music. So I was approached by another promoter and asked me if I would like to present Sister Nancy's biopic in Melbourne. And I'm like, whoa, what an honor. So I approached the Thornbury Picture House, and I said, I'd like to present Sister Nancy Bam Bam in your cinema. And Gus, the owner, is like, yeah, let's do it. So we're going to make an event of it. We're going to have 2 screenings of the biopic on the 12th of July. One at 4:15 and one at 6:15. Now, the cinema only holds 57 people.
All right.
So for each session, a maximum of 57 people. But I'm also going to be DJing in the foyer.
All right.
And we're going to have a special Stick Mareebo version of the Jamaican rum punch at the bar. And my nephew from the Real Jerk food truck will have his food truck park up out the front. So, you make a day of it. You come down and eat some food, listen to some music, drink some rum punch, and watch the Sister Nancy show.
Beautiful. That's why you're a good father. If you're Italian, I would have said, Man, that's quite organized. So when is the date?
That's Saturday, the 12th of July.
All right. Yeah. So people can contact you for tickets, or they'll just go on the website.
The tickets are up, and one of the session is just
fully
about
booked.
sold out.
You said, yeah.
So people want to come, they have to jump in quick. And I noticed
what
that
are the times?
All the Jamaicans are buying the tickets.
Yeah. So what are the times?
The times are 6:15. Sorry, the first session is at 4:15 p.m. And the second session is at 6:15 p.m.
You didn't answer my question. How iconic is Sister Nancy to you?
Well, to be honest, I've seen Sister Nancy before she was known to the world in Jamaica, because her brother, a lot of people don't know this, but her brother is Brigadier Jerry. And right. Brigadier Jerry is, for me, the soundtrack of my youth. Brigadier Jerry had a song, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Imagine, down in Jamaica, Briggy born and grew. The old Charias fall, and man love it so. I used to go to school and play tita too. And down in Jamaica, we played domino. From St. Mary down to Hanover, and Trelawney down to Westmoreland. I'm on borrow my brother Van. So that's Brigadier Jerry. And Brigadier Jerry and Sister Nancy are brother and sister.
Wow.
But Nancy was never getting... When I go to the dance to see Briggy, and Nancy was there, I don't want to hear Nancy. I go to hear Brigadier Jerry. But then in 1980, when she made the song, I think it was 1982, when she made the song Bam Bam, all of a sudden, everybody's like, it's a massive hit.
But was she big then? Because it seems as if people didn't appreciate her for a long time. Like, is it because of the money people were not paying her or something?
No,
what was going on with her?
Jamaica and the reggae music industry is a very
complicated
organization. You know what I mean? Like women, when I came to Australia, And like in Australia, in Melbourne, there's about 30 women who are DJs.
Now.
When I live
Before.
in Jamaica, I never know one
woman
woman
who was a DJ.
that was a DJ. Not one woman would get behind the decks and DJ. But when I lived in Jamaica, people like Lady Saw, Sister Nancy, Maca Diamond, a few of the women, Sister Carol, all those women were trying to
break through.
Trying to get to be heard.
Attention, yeah.
And the men would just beat them down. they wouldn't get the mic. They wouldn't get the mic.
I saw in one shot, someone
just pull the mic off her. Because they're misogynist. And still, there's a very big emphasis on a male-dominated industry in Jamaica with the music. But some of the women these days, like, Shensia is just amazing artist, just an amazing artist, and you can't deny them the talent that they're born with it, So for me, Sister Nancy, I actually started appreciating Sister Nancy since I've been living in Australia. It's the same thing with Bob Marley. It's the same thing with Bob Marley.
Yeah.
When I live in Jamaica, I thought Bob Marley was for old people. I wanted to hear Sizzla and I wanted to hear Anthony B, the young one. I want to hear Shabba Ranks. I want to hear Early B and Lecturer, and I want to hear all those DJs. I never want to hear Bob Marley music. It was too conscious for me. But when I came to Australia, I realized that Bob Marley was... If I went on a DJ somewhere and I didn't play Bob Marley, people angry. They want to get rid of me. And then I realized that Jamaicans have missed something. We just didn't realize what we had with Bob.
It's like Jesus. Jesus wasn't accepted in his own, place of birth. Sorry, I quickly transferred it to somewhere else.
You throw me
they'll
there.
They'll go like,
throw me there.
Yeah, sorry, brother.
That's fine. That's fine.
They'll go like, I sign off a carpenter and stuff. What is he talking about?
I don't compare the two.
Okay.
I don't compare the two. You talk about Jesus and you talk about Bob.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Bob was closer to God for me than Jesus.
I see.
Yes, because Bob for me is a messenger for me and as a black man. And a lot of people don't know Bob's father is white. His mother is black. But white people would never own him as a white person. And so he just sees himself as a black man.
Person.
And as an African. You know what I mean? Because they say the mango tree comes from the seed. The mango seed.
I see.
So his mom is the seed.
The seed.
And so he says he's a black man. And to me, from the messages that Bob brings, speaks to my heart and my soul. Still to today, his music is so current. And Jamaicans still don't even know what they had with Bob.
Beautiful. A lot of positive message come from Jamaica, but still, at some point, we find a little bit of, I don't know, can I call it violence or something that happens in Jamaica? What's that? Is it an adaptation of an American style of life, or Jamaicans have always been a little bit aggressive towards each other?
History will show you, and if you research it, you'll find out that during the time when the Atlantic slave trade was taking place, when all these Africans, free people, were taken from West Africa to North America and the Caribbean. When a slave is disruptive and bad and uncontrollable on a boat going to the Americas, they would put all the real disruptive ones together and ship them off in Jamaica.
Okay.
It's true.
All right.
Anybody who they couldn't control, they sent to Jamaica.
They'll stay there.
They sent to Jamaica. They go, We don't want them in Canada. We don't want them in United States. We don't want them in South America. We don't want them in Haiti. They either go to Haiti or Jamaica. Right? So it's in the Jamaican DNA.
But that's what I'm saying. It's sort of like two reputations coming from the same thing.
But they
very conscious.
Yep.
In a little bit of.
But Jamaicans are the extreme in everything. If they love you,
they love you.
They love you to an extreme. If they hate you, they will kill you.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's no in between.
All right.
With 99% of Jamaicans, there's no in between. If they love you, you know.
Yeah.
If they hate you, you won't even know because you'll be gone. So they take everything to the extreme. I'm telling you. They take sport to the extreme. They take studying to the extreme. Music. They take love to the extreme. Music to the extreme. Violence to the extreme. When a Jamaican gets killed or murdered anywhere else in the world, 99.9% of the time it's by another Jamaican.
All right.
Because Jamaicans
love too much or hate too much. Yeah, correct. I know. I get what you mean.
And it's in the DNA.
Yeah,
it must be.
Because I'm talking about it because of that incident that I was talking about behind the cameras and stuff. And I was saying, who's a Jamaican son?
Jamaican son. Yeah. Young boy, probably not even 20 yet. He's a TikToker. And he's live on TikTok. And they say in Jamaica, someone takes his 3 points.
What does that mean?
You gone.
Teach me, yo.
That's
3 points, you're going.
3 points, you're out. Cold, someone will put you in a box and they'll sing some lovely songs and someone will carry you, march you, put you in a hole and you're done. That's taking the 3 points.
3 points. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So someone took his 3 points.
But what can you do? I mean, like, I know the government is trying to, just, calm down the violence, get the guns and stuff like that. But I think there's a lot of things going on there.
There's a lot of things going on. Jamaicans are so creative and Jamaicans are also so religious and so violent.
Yes, I know they're so religious. Yeah, everyone sort of like, So it perplexes me. So sometimes I wonder, like, what's going on? Why
Jamaica per capita for any other country in the world has the most churches in every 2 square meters. There's a church. To every square mile, there's a church. And everyone is so religious. But listen, if everyone in Jamaica realized that there's no hell, and if they did bad things, they could still go to heaven. Imagine that.
Yo.
Because the fear of going to hell is keeping half the population from being evil. You know what I mean? Even the guy with the gun, if he was going to take someone's 3 points and you confront him with God and what God would do to him, he'll drop the gun and run.
All right.
Yeah? He would drop the gun and run because they're all so scared of what will happen to them.
Yes.
In the afterlife. You know what I mean? So very religious. Like I don't know how much I can say on your podcast, but a Jamaican would never ever blow himself up.
Yeah,
never.
No.
He will blow up everyone in the room,
but not themselves.
And you know why? Because they're scared of what the afterlife will be.
Like,
if you blow yourself up, you have no chance of repenting.
Redemption, yeah.
So it would never happen. You know what I mean? So they take everything to an extreme.
Yeah.
When I'm in Jamaica, I feel very safe.
Yes. And everyone who goes there, they feel very safe. But that's what I was going to ask you. Is it the media making it too big or?
Well, there's certain places.
And social media is bad too. Nowadays, we just hear everything.
There's certain places I wouldn't go in Australia because I don't want someone to take my phone and take my chain and take my ring and mug me and take my wallet, right?
Me too.
It's the same with Jamaica. There's certain places I wouldn't go and you shouldn't go. just don't go. Well, if you're looking for trouble, you can find it. You know what I mean? And when people talk about Jamaica, they're really talking about Kingston. All of the stuff that gets filtered out of Jamaica into the Western world is all about Kingston. Because the people in the country are the most beautiful, friendly, and nice people.
Yeah.
They'll give you the last mango off the tree.
Yeah.
They will cook you a meal for nothing straight away and take you to anywhere you want to go, and you're safe in the country. But what happens is everyone says Jamaica is overpopulated, but it's not true. It's just Kingston. Because even myself, when I was 18 years old, I thought that the country, I'm doomed if I live in the country. So I had to leave St. Thomas and Stony Gut and go live in Kingston to try and get work. And a lot of people go to Kingston, and when they get there, they realize there's no opportunities here.
Yeah.
So a lot of people turn to violence and crime, and they have to survive. Only the strong survive.
And it's a concrete jungle too.
It's a concrete jungle, and it is every man for himself.
And good for us all. Man, I've already asked you what I wanted to ask you. How can people contact you, sir?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. It's coming up. I'm on Facebook.
Yes.
But you know what? I am the only person in the world with the last name Mareebo.
Yes.
So if you type in Stick Mareebo, Mareebo, you find anything and everything you want to know about me.
So if people want to advertise, do you do promotional collaborations? That's
Absolutely.
what you were talking about. Like if you have an artist, you can sell them to Sydney and stuff like that.
Yes.
And Perth,
look, I'm looking to get some influencers involved in JMFF, and I've got a really sweet package that I'm going to be announcing very soon. I'll be collaborating with a international company and some influencers to come to the festival and be paid by this multi-million-dollar company.
Beautiful.
To come to the festival and talk about the festival and do some posts and possibly wear some clothing of a certain brand, but more to be revealed when I sign the contract.
Beautiful. We'll be waiting for that. And I mean, like, or even advice. If someone wants to sort of like seek advice as a godfather or as a gatekeeper, if I feel like, okay, if Ron wants to start an event, or if I have an event that I'm thinking about, or if I identify an artist, say if I identify, say, who's that, Movado, who's that who came from jail?
From jail? Oh, Vibes Cartel.
Yeah, if I have Vibes Cartel, can I come to you for advice and stuff?
Yeah, first of all, Australia is a very hard place to get people with criminal convictions or people with bad character, because Vibes Cartel doesn't have a conviction. His old conviction was overturned and he's a free man. His record's clean.
All right.
But I still believe Vibes Cartel would get a big fight in trying to get a visa to tour Australia. Only because the gatekeepers in Australia are much more, they're tight. They're tight.
It gets to the Ministry of Immigration and stuff like that, yeah?
But if anyone came to me and said they had an idea about doing event or touring or anything, anything to do with what I do, first thing I'd say is what my mom tells me: never hang your hat in a position where you can't reach it.
All right.
Because when you want to put it on, you need to be able to. So basically, she's saying don't overextend yourself. Don't bite off more than what you can chew. So that's the first advice. Don't take on more than you can handle. The next advice is surround yourself with people who can only see positivity in what you're doing. Anyone who's going to bring you negative energy, just leave them out of your circle. And be very conscious of who is in your circle. It's good to have a lot of people in your circle, but you must be very selective of who you have in your corner. It's a big difference. You know who's in your corner.
You can have everyone, but on your corner, specific.
You can have as many people as you like in your circle. Your circle can be big and wide, but your corner must be very selective. Just like a boxer. The boxer only has the trainer and the doctor and maybe another supporter in the corner.
But the crowd is
in the circle everywhere.
Yeah.
The supporters are everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And I don't have a lot of people in my corner. I don't want them. And if you're going to be successful at your events and at touring and booking and promoting, you just need a few positive people in your corner. But you need everyone else in your circle for it to work.
Well spoken from the Godfather himself. Any shout outs?
Yeah, man. I always shout out to my brethren, Zara Demos.
Yes, sir.
He's my brethren and he's like a brother to me, even though we have different mothers. Just an inspirational guy. I see a lot of him in me as a young man. And bring Zara here, man. Absolutely,
I want
man.
to hear from him, his journey and stuff.
Absolutely.
Because I've already asked you about your journey before.
Yeah.
I didn't want to repeat myself in this interview. But bring him over. Tell him Ron is good.
I see Zardimus as a compliment to myself. And I hope I compliment him as well, because we identify our strengths. And my weakness is some of my Zardimus' strength. So we make a very, very good team. Combination. Yeah.
Who else?
Well, obviously,
if you don't shout out your missus, we're gonna be in trouble.
Well, today's my wife's birthday. And,
yes.
Yesterday we went out for birthday dinner. She's gone tonight to see Les Mis with our oldest grandchild. So we had a discussion in the car on the way home yesterday, and she was saying I was very lucky, and I said I know. And I know where it was going to go, but I decided to listen. And she says, you're lucky because I just let you do what you want to do. But I don't see it that way. I see it as support.
Me too.
She supports me.
Me too.
In letting me do what I do and what I love to do. Because I said, darling, you know me. When you met me, I was on the way up to doing what I'm trying to do. I was always a DJ. I was in the club. I wasn't trying to sleep with everyone in the club. I was actually just doing something that makes me happy and I get paid to do it. And I felt like I wasn't working. So if you were the kind of person that would try to change me, we wouldn't last 35 years. So I am very lucky that we found each other.
And she's a supportive, best supportive.
And I give big shout outs to her. And obviously to my kids who are exactly like their mum. They only ever support me.
They tell you what to do. Dad, you too old. Nah, stop
but they
this.
tell me,
man.
The kids are very honest.
Yeah? Mine ones are too young. I'll get it when I'm old.
They will give me their opinion and they don't hold back. They're very honest. So big shout outs to the Stick Mareebo clan as well. Yeah, and Papa Dalton. Yeah, we're gonna big up Papa Dalton. So Papa Dalton is a friend and a brother. And he was also married to my sister. Oh. And he's the reason why I end up in Australia.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful.
So I give big shout outs to him. We're still very good friends. He's the father of 5 of my nephews.
When you came, Stick, did you work on a radio station?
Not straight away.
Because the last time you were here, I forgot to talk about it. And, some of my friends who are fans of yours, I said, why did you talk about that? I said, I forgot to talk about it. Probably Stick didn't want to talk about it stuff like that.
I came here in 1987 and I started DJing in a club called the Bridge Club like 2 days after arriving in Australia. And I DJed in that club for 10 years. In 1994, the program director at Fox FM invited me down to the radio station because he loved the tone of my voice. That's what he told me.
The Jamaican accent.
And the Jamaican accent.
That one is that one is a killer.
Yeah. And so
internationally.
And so I went to the radio station in 1994 and just to read some one-liners for them to play in between songs. Some stings.
Yeah.
And I ended up working in the radio there for 7 years. And then another radio station approached me about a show and obviously offered me the right amount of money. And so I moved to what was Double TFM, and then they become Mix, and now they're called Kiss. But I did spend 16 years working there as well.
In radio.
Yeah, I had my own show for about 7 years.
Do you miss it?
Miss radio?
Nah.
No, I don't miss radio because radio is for young people.
All right.
And radio is a turnstile. Like the turnover of talent on radio is the worst. It's the highest turnover of people and personnel.
Yes.
If you're on breakfast, it's all about the ratings. If you're on drive,
you'll be scared they'll
it's all
kick
about
you
the
out.
ratings.
Yes.
For me,
yes. You didn't want to be involved in that.
I stayed underneath the radar in radio. That's why I stayed there for so long. You know what I mean? I did every job in radio. I had my own show. I did promotions. I did marketing. I even tried my hand at sales in radio.
Right.
No, that's the worst job in the world.
Oh,
to
why?
try to sell something you can't
something
show.
You can't show, yeah.
You know what I mean? You're selling air to people. You're selling airtime. And you know what? Every radio salesperson, I'm probably going to get a lot of messages after this goes to air, but every radio salesperson is a liar.
All right. They're like real estate agents.
You sell something you can't prove. You sell a lie and someone buys it and you get lucky. You get paid.
Wow.
It's I couldn't do it morally.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell a person that if you advertise on the radio and you sell shoes, you'll get your money back. You don't get your money. The people who listens to radio, they're only listening to win free prizes. They're not buying anything.
I know.
They don't buy anything. You know, we had a demographic of 18 to 36-year-old women, and they say, who's going to buy the next house? Who's going to buy the next car? Who's going to go shopping? Who's going to get a credit card? A woman between 18 and 56 years old. And that's the target audience. But all of them are just listening to the radio to see what they can win.
For free.
Yep. They're not buying a new car. They're not buying new shoes. And you have to tell the advertiser. I mean, there's some companies that should advertise on the radio. Like, you don't think, for example, the soft drink companies, the big ones, they don't need to advertise.
Nah.
They don't need to advertise, but they do.
Yeah, they do.
And they need to advertise on radio. All the big fast food chains, they need to advertise.
I won't mention. I've got a problem of dropping names.
I don't drop names.
Yeah, I was almost about to drop. Then they were like, no.
I don't give them any free advertising.
Yes.
But, you know, they should advertise on radio because they if they don't, the opposition will take their market.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they've got heaps of... They're big, but they've got another bigger company as their opposition. So it will take their space.
But if you have a little cafe called Ponderer's Cafe, don't advertise on the radio.
All right.
No one's going to come to your cafe because they heard it on the radio.
Nah.
No one.
Word of mouth.
Absolutely. You do good service and you go out and touch people physically and get them to your place. It's better than spending your money.
That's what I'm trying to do with the podcast too. I'm trying to sort of like just show up. But at the moment, I'm kind of creating time now. Because when the kids are younger, it's very difficult. But now, then I explain to the missus, I have to show up some places. I show up there and stuff like that. You know?
I buy ads on radio for my events, but never on any of the radio station that I work. Because it's not my demographic. You have to know who you're advertising to. I buy ads on PBS because they got 2 reggae shows. I buy ads on Triple R.
Oh yeah, they've got
Because-
one on Saturday and one on Sunday,
Yeah.
right, with the girls.
That's my audience. If I buy ads on the radio stations I work, those people are never coming to my event.
Nah.
They're not coming. They're not least.
Try
they're
and introduce them.
no
Everyone
chance.
wants
No
reggae, man.
chance. Everyone wants to go and see Robbie Williams, man.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm telling you, yeah.
Stick Mareebo, thanks for coming this. Yeah. Did we miss something that we want to talk about?
No,
Is there anything that we're supposed to talk about that we missed?
Well, I want your.
You tell me something.
I want your audience to keep an eye out for when I promote Dub Plate and Dinner Date. It's a series of events where, like, I'm getting a sound system from Geneva called Little Lion Sound. They've got 3.5 million followers on Instagram. And they're going to be doing a Dub Plate and Dinner Date session where I cook and they play dubs, and you bring someone and you come and enjoy a nice drink and some food in a warehouse setting. And I'm also doing one on Valentine's Day,
All right.
which would be like Lovers
February,
Rock,
yeah.
Rock Steady, Dub Plates, dinner, and you bring a date. So look out for Dub Plate and Dinner Date.
Dub Plate and Dinner Date.
That's it.
When it comes out, obviously we'll be promoting it over on my platforms and
Much
stuff like
appreciated,
that.
Pandora.
Now you've got a journey to drive back home.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I'm thinking I might get onto the water.
Yes.
I'm actually gonna go pick up my wife from
Yeah.
Les Mis
How far is it?
at Rod Laver Arena
Yeah, that's close.
in the city.
Nah, that's close. You just go boom, freeway, then you're there.
Yeah, show's not finished till 10:30 anyway.
So what's the time?
Got lots of time.
Yeah. By the time you start looking for parking and stuff, it'll be 10:30.
I'm hoping that I just drive by like an Uber driver.
You will.
Yeah. I'm not
Or
gonna
just
be-
pick up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be
no,
parking.
not waiting.
No.
Yeah.
I'll say, you finished? Are you out? Where are you? And then I'll drive through
Okay.
and pick up and home.
This is the Podro Show with your boy DJ Ronald the Castle Gladiator. As you can see, the Godfather is here. And there's nothing, no doubt. I appreciate you coming here, sir.
Much respect, my brother. Thanks
I
for
hope
the
you come back
invitation.
sometime. I'll send you another invitation, but
Yeah,
I
man.
won't wait 3 years.
I will.
I'll do
invite.
it close. I'll do it close to probably. Nah. Yeah, I might do it close to November. If you're free, I'll come. Then just do a 5-minute interview.
Yeah, man.
Once I'm there.
We'll make sure we have Zardimas in the building.
Can he come here?
Absolutely. Yeah, you'd love to talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd love to talk to him. His journey is amazing.
Thank you very much. See you
Respect,
later.
brother. Yeah, man. Bless up.